This video is going to show you how to construct the circumcenter of a triangle using construction tools. There's many ways to do it, but we're going to use the dynamic construction feature. You could use a compass and a straight edge, but we're going to use the perpendicular bisector tool. And then also how to hide and show constructs that you can then bring back as you're working with students, helping them to discover things. So let's get a geometry sticky out here. So when I click anywhere on the space, I have my options. I'm going to choose geometry. I am going to turn off auto labeling because I don't want labels on at the moment. So that's the three dots on the sticky, and you just go to settings and then hit OK. So now I'm going to construct a triangle. So it can be any triangle. I'm using the polygon tool, and it doesn't matter what kind of triangle I make because this is dynamic software. I can then make it be any triangle, right? So I just need a triangle. And now I want to construct the circumcenter, which is the intersection of perpendicular bisectors. And so let's actually construct using the perpendicular bisector tool. And those types of things are here on the side. And we're going to go into construction, and you'll see there's a perpendicular bisector tool. So I can click the tool first, and it will tell me what to do. It says select a segment or 2 points. So let's just click one of the sides because we want the perpendicular bisector of each side. And watch what happens. It automatically constructed it for me. And when you click on that construction, it shows you that it is perpendicular and it is bisecting the segment you chose. I'm going to change the color of this. So I selected it. I'm going to go into Properties. I'm going to go into orange, and I think I might make them dotted just so it stands out a little bit. So that's a perpendicular bisector. So let's do it for the other two sides as well. So I'm going to change the color ahead of time right now. So Properties is where you can change color and size and types of lines. So I'm going to, before I do the next one, I'm going to change it to orange and make it be a dotted. Now let's click on the second side and go into construct, and notice the difference here is I only have a couple options based on what I clicked. So we're going to do perpendicular bisector there, and then let's do this last one, same thing. Select it, construct, perpendicular bisector. So you'll see that the perpendicular bisectors are all meeting in a point, and even if I move the triangle, they're still intersecting at that point. That is the circumcenter. So I want to make that point stand out. So let's select, I want to select two of these at the same time, so I'm going to do a box around them. So, so I've selected these two so that notice they're a little bit bolder. So I'm going to select them mainly because I want to construct that intersection point, which is the circumcenter. So here's the circumcenter. Let's select the circumcenter and actually give it a label. So to do that, select it, go into visible, because right now, remember, I turned off all the labels. Now I want to just label this one point. So I'm going to hit label, and let's give it something. I could do, circumcenter is a very long word, so I could write it out a little bit, but I'm just going to do C to stand for circumcenter. So there's my circumcenter. So now here's where you're going to explore with students, you know, what do we know about a circumcenter? Well, we know it's coming from the perpendicular bisectors. Where is it in any triangle? So now here's where the beauty of dynamic geometry is coming into play. You can move the triangle and make it all different kinds of triangles. So what kind of triangles has a circumcenter outside? And what kind of triangles have it inside? And what kind of triangles have the circumcenter, you know, on the actual side of a triangle? So lots of different explorations they could do and to collect data. I would measure the angles of the triangle and see if it's, you know, are obtuse triangles the only ones that have it on the outside or the inside, those types of things. So you can really do a lot of exploration with students once you have your construction done. Another thing you can do is, let's say you don't really want them to see the perpendiculars, or you want to bring them back or take them out so they can focus on just the circumcenter. You can group things together to and hide them. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I want to select these three perpendicular bisectors. So I'm going to just put a box around them. Those three, it did not work for some reason. Let's try it again. There we go. Those three are now selected. And when I do that, you'll notice over here on the right hand side where that arrow is that there's this thing called group. And group means everything you've selected. So you can select one thing or many things. When you group it, it creates a hide show button. And I like to make my hide show buttons match whatever the objects are that I'm hiding. So in this case, they're all orange. And then I also notice that you have this little pencil here where you can edit. I'm going to change this group. They are my perpendicular bisectors. So very easy to create a hide show button. In fact, let's make this a little wider so we can actually see the words. So what does that mean, hide show? Well, notice it's checked right now, meaning it's showing them. If I select it, they go away, and the only thing left is my Circumcenter, which now I can just explore the Circumcenter. So you could hide the perpendicular bisectors and have students just looking at the Circumcenter. You could also, let's hide the Circumcenter too. So I select it, I go into group. Even though I only have one thing, group is just kind of the indication to make it be a hide show button. And now let's call this the Circumcenter. And now I could hide that one as well. So you could start with just a triangle. Oh, I must have selected something other than just the circle. And perpendicular bisectors. And now we have lots of ways to explore. So that's how you can construct a circumcenter of a triangle. This is also how you can, depending on how you're working with students, hide and show different aspects of something you've constructed. So we did this using the perpendicular bisector tool.